Welcome to the Miracles and Millions Show. This is your go-to show for living a life of miracles, where we're taking the limits off what you believe is possible. It's time to play big, be bold, and shine bright. I'm your host, Michelle Humphrey. Hello, and welcome. I am so blessed that you are here, and I promise to use your time well. This is, as I've said, about playing big, being bold, shining bright, and living a life that you love, a life of miracles, to make millions, to take the limits off. And why do I say that? It's because I've been able to tap into that, to experience that, to have that for myself. And then now in my 20th year of coaching, help hundreds and literally thousands of people to tap into a life of miracles and make more money than they ever dreamed possible. And today I want to keep it short and very potent for what you can do starting immediately to improve and change for the better the quality of your life, which I truly believe everybody wants. I've been a business coach and trainer now for 20 years, and truly no one has ever come to me and said, Michelle, help me to feel bad. Help me to be stressed. Help me to live in lack and worry and limitation and struggle with my money. No one. I promise you, absolutely no one. Check yourself. Check your heart. Do you want that for your life? I don't think so. I don't really believe anyone's crawled out of bed today and said, you know what? I really hope today stinks. No, we're not wired for that. And here's what I want you to believe and know and trust. You are wired to feel good. You are wired to live a life that you love. One that, my language, I like to call it, lights you up, expands who you are. That's why you seek to get better, right? And the only people who are not seeking to get better and improve the quality of their life and the way that they're showing up and what they're feeling and experiencing are people who have just given up. They've been beat up. They've been beat down, truth be told, and they just think, you know what? It's better to settle. It's better to live a life of mediocrity than to go for what I really want and get my heart broken and smashed and be, defeated and feel like a failure or whatever else fear-based energy that they got linked to living a great life. But I'm here to tell you, if that's you or any part of you feels like you don't want to go for it, it's because you're using past references. You're using fear-based belief systems and models of the world that are holding you back, and it's not your truth. It's not who you really are. We're meant to live a life that we love. We're meant to have everything that's been deep inside of our hearts. And for those of you also who are searching around saying, you know what? Well, I just don't know what I want. I'm here to tell you the only reason you think you don't know what you want is because you're scared to claim it. You're scared to really tune in. You do know what you want. I promise you, it's deep inside of you. And fear right now is blocking it. Fear is saying, you know what? Let's act a little naive. Let's kind of numb ourselves out to what we really do want, because if I don't really know, then I don't need to put myself out there and I won't get hurt and I won't be a failure or a disappointment. And here's, again, guys, we got to look past the fears. Every decision made in fear or lack or limitation, and you know this, the energies that do not feel good, that shrink you down, it's black and white. It's the wrong decision. It'll shrink you. It'll make you feel weaker. It'll create a downward spiral in your life. Here's the secret to a great life: making decisions that light you up, that expand you, that feel good, that raise your energy, that you've tapped into something deep inside of you and said, oh my gosh, that's really what's in my heart. That's really what I want. And we've got to follow that up with a yes, I get to have what I want. My way of setting this up and knowing that it's really meant for me, because some of you play this game, it's, well, I don't know if that's God's will for my life. I don't know if I should really go for this. Here's the answer to that. God's will for your life is what lights you up. That's how He speaks to you. What's inside of your heart? Think of this. It's your heart desires. And what's deep inside of your heart, desires, comes from the root, the Latin of the Father, of sire. It means you're meant to have it. right? If God's put something inside of your heart, He's stamped it yes. He's approved of it. Now it's our turn just to get out of our own way so we can have it. So allow yourself to go beyond the fears, go beyond these false beliefs that you don't think you can do it, or it's not going to work out, or it's somehow not God's will. No. Anything that's deep inside of your heart that you feel the calling for, you feel it lights you up. It's like, oh my gosh, like I would love that for my life. You're meant to have it. And so here's some strategies on how to start bringing that to the surface so that you really can have it. And one of the things, probably one of the main things as a business coach is I hear all the time about creating more money. Yes, you get to have the amount of money that you want, to do what you want when you want to do it. You are meant to be abundant. You're meant to be wealthy, rich, prosperous. Allow yourself to feel that, to know that, right? I'm not saying you need to be a billionaire or a trillionaire or, some, number you can't even wrap your mind around, but really tune into your own heart's desires to have freedom with money, to have the money to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And even if you don't have the money right up front, wouldn't it be just so great to know that somehow you know that you can generate it, that you can create it, that you will receive it, that there's more than enough for you and everyone on this planet? So if your answer is yes to that, and you don't have the amount of money that you want, and you look at your bank account and you log on and it's a number much less than you would prefer to see, and you're not feeling super abundant when you do it, first step here, you got to stop labeling that. You got to stop looking at that and saying, oh, it's not good enough. I'm in lack. I'll never make it. I'll never get by. There's too much month at the end of the money type of energy. No, you got to look at what's currently going on in your bank account. And that's a reflection of your past thoughts, what you've been speaking into existence, what you've been feeling. If you want a better tomorrow, it starts today. And it starts in your inner world. What do I mean by inner world? Inner world is what you say to yourself. Inner world is what you picture in your mind. Inner world is what you feel. Those are your senses of your inner world, what you see, what you hear, what you feel. And we must be so aware of what we speak, what we think, and what we feel, because that creates the outer world. The outer world are the tangible things, the people, the cars, the houses, the buildings, your experiences that you're having around you. And depending on what's going on in your inner world is determining what you're experiencing in your outer world. And for some of you, that might be a new concept, but I want you to really know it's law. It's the way this universe works. If you really want a better world, you must take charge of your mind. For anything to get better, it starts with you. One of my favorite quotes is by Andrew Carnegie. Actually, I have it programmed in my Alexa. Listen to this. I call it, her command to do it is Alexa. I'll say it to her so you can hear it. Alexa, light me up.
The person who acquires the ability to take full possession of their own mind may take possession of anything else to which they are justly entitled. Michelle, you have taken full possession of your own mind and are a true enlightened world healer.
Guys, I set reminders. That's a quote from Andrew Carnegie that I remember reading, oh my gosh, probably close to 2 decades ago. The person who takes charge of their own mind can take charge of anything else to which they're justly entitled. And I remember thinking, is that true? Could that be me? How do you do that? My mind is a mess. My mind, literally, I'll never take charge of it. It runs its own race. I have no idea how to stop it or take charge of it. No. Maybe you're not perfect at it. Certainly I'm not either, but I've gotten better and better at it through the years, right? No matter what, I want you to get, if you don't like your outer world, and let's stay focused right now in this podcast show about money. If you don't like the amount of money that you're experiencing and creating and having in your own world, how do you start changing that? So first and foremost, it starts with your mind. That's your inner world. What are you seeing, hearing, feeling? Think of it as what you speak, think, and feel. And if it's not abundance, if it's not wealth, rich, prosperous, feel good, more than enough thoughts, that's what's got to start changing. right there. So how do you start doing that when you look at the bank account and you're going, Michelle, but look at my bank account. You'd get nervous too. There's not enough money, right? So first and foremost, you got to look at that is it's temporary. That's right. I'm not denying current scenarios or current circumstances for any of you. If that's your challenge, what you're going through at this moment, but you've got to say, you know what? This isn't going to be my challenge for very long. This is a temporary scenario. Some of you are like, Michelle, it's not very temporary. I've been doing this for years and decades. Okay. So for some of you, you've got to really start claiming the dysfunction has got to stop. This lack, this limitation, this not enough game. I'm not playing it any longer, right? You've been playing a game of lack, limitation, not enough, not good enough, right? It's what you've been thinking. It's what you've been saying. It's what you've been speaking to. It's been what you're feeling, right? You're doing it. So of course you keep playing the game and just extending how much longer you don't have the money that you want. Are you willing to change what you're doing? That's the question we've got to answer. Are you willing to change your language, how you're setting this up, how you're playing this game with money? And if that answer is yes, let's start doing it. Right? So you look at the bank accounts like, you know what? I'm not going to continue to play this game. This is a temporary scenario. And we got to start getting grateful for what is and focusing on what it is that you definitely want to create. You deserve to create, right? So how do you get grateful for what is? You celebrate the pennies, the nickels, the dimes, the quarters, wherever you are. I know some of you, you have quite a bit more than that. But for some of you, you're not quite sure how you're paying the bills. There's money. You're surviving somehow. You're eating somehow. You are getting, bills paid at least on and off here and there, right? You got to keep focusing on, you know what? I'm grateful for what I have. Literally pick up pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, pick up the change, hold it in your hand and be grateful. Grateful that you do have some and bless it. Bless it. It's just the beginning. Start seeing that, you know what? For every penny, you can add 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 or more zeros to the end of it. Even one penny with 10 zeros added to the end of it adds up to something that you can get really grateful for. And here's what's great. The universe does not know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. And start feeling you are abundant. Allow yourself to find ways, even if your brain says, I'm bouncing checks. I can't pay my bills. How can I feel abundant? You know what? That was your past. It's not your future. Your tomorrows and beyond are going to be better because you are doing the feelings, the energies you're speaking to, you're thinking about, you're feeling how abundant you are. And at first your brain's going to go, who do you think you're kidding? This is not your life, right? Stop trying to be something that you're not. Here's what is so great. You keep doing it again and again and again, and that you keep feeling that you are rich, that you are abundant, that you are prosperous, that more money is coming to you from more sources than it ever did. And you pick up a penny that you find on the sidewalk as you're walking down it, and you celebrate it like, oh my goodness, that's one more penny than I had before. And thank you, universe, that you can multiply this and add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus zeros to the end of it. And you start energizing that you are abundant. And you know what? This is how I totally turned a financial disastrous situation around. I kept energizing what I wanted, celebrating the pennies and then the nickels and the dimes and the quarters. And then I got a $2 rebate check. And then I found $5 and then I found $40 and then I found a $100 bill. And over those few weeks, it was like, okay, it didn't sound like so much money, but it was progress and more money was being made. And then that went on for thousands and then hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in, record time, I made literally hundreds and thousands of dollars. And that year I went on to make over $400,000. And I've allowed myself to just not be logical about this. I want you to be energetic about it, right? The universe works by law. And it picks up on our vibration. It picks up on our energy. And you start allowing, and that's the key word here, is allowing yourself to feel the way that you want in spite of current circumstances, in spite of what's happened in the past. This is what faith is all about. Faith is that ability to literally see what it is that you want to experience before it happens. Think of it this way. It is a mental attitude that is so convinced of its own idea. So in this case, it's so convinced of that you have the money to do what you want to do when you want to do it. You're so convinced of it. You speak towards it. You act as if it's already happened. You know it to such an extent that literally speaking against it is impossible and not an option any longer, right? You speak towards what it is that you want. And short term, people are going to maybe think, and you might even think this about yourself, that you're crazy. But here's what you can trust in. The universe works by law. And if you start allowing yourself, which I really believe in your heart of hearts, you want to. And the only reason you're not is because you're just thinking, Michelle, oh my God, will this really work for me? Are you kidding me? And I'm here to tell you it does work for you. It works for everyone. The greatest thing I can tell you is the universe, it doesn't play favorites. It can't. It's impersonal. It works the same for absolutely every single person, just like gravity, right? If I was holding a pen in my hand right now and I dropped it, guess what? It's dropping down to the floor. If you held a pen in your hand and you dropped it, it's dropping to the floor. Same thing. What I'm saying, you start imprinting onto this universal energy, this universal substance, right? With congruency, with power, with alignment, with conviction, with this faith that I'm talking about, that you are rich, that you are prosperous, that you are abundant, that you are wealthy, right? And every day it's getting better and better, and every week and every month. And you know what? You're never going to have a year like this ever again, because you're not doing lack. You're not doing limitation. You're not doing, oh, not good enough, all this energies that's caused it. I have seen this time and time and time and time again. I cannot emphasize it enough. This works for every single person. And here's the truth. If you dabble in this, you'll get part results. You'll get some results probably. But you know what? What really makes the difference, that makes all the difference, is you're all in. You're all in with all of you. And it's like you draw that proverbial line in the sand, and it's like, no, the lack and the limitation and the not enough is not going to be my life any longer, and you claim it. And here's again why this works for every single person, and it doesn't matter your skill set, and it doesn't matter your history or the color of your skin or your background or what family you were born into. The greatest freedom is that this applies for everyone, and this works for everyone, and you can start now. And it just comes down to decide. I love understanding the Latin words for different thing, and decide means to cut off from any other option. And that's really what I want for you. Cut off any other option that, you know what, that you could be in lack or limitation or struggle. You don't need to be. You can decide. And for every time you trip over that and you forget about it, just start again. The universe gives you a brand new present moment to claim this, to claim how rich, how prosperous, how abundant you are. It really is as simple as this. And if your brain says, oh my God, I'll never be able to stop my chatter, my inner little ego mind about worrying and being in lack and limitation, I'm here to tell you you can, because that was me. I go back 20, probably 3-4 years ago. I was a train wreck with money. And little by little, I just got better at focusing on what I wanted, speaking to what I wanted, listen to these podcasts, open up to your miracle in millions. Right? This is a miracle, and all that miracle really is shifts in perception, shifts in the way that you're setting it up, shifts in the way that you're holding it in your energy and what you're speaking to and what you're feeling. Let's shift your perceptions. Let's shift your language. Let's shift the way that you feel about money to open up to the millions that you deserve, because I'm here to tell you, you totally deserve it. Set this up that you have the money to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And again, if that's not a current reality in your life, let's make it one in the very near future. Your time is now. You absolutely deserve this. And I look forward to hearing about your miracles. So go on over to our Facebook page, The Miracles in Millions. Great conversations are happening during and after the show. And I am more than happy to respond to every single person who posts miracles or posts their shifts in perceptions and posts what it is that they want to create. And you will be supported to do just that. Great speaking with you today, and I look forward to connecting with you next week. Until then, live a life of miracles and millions. Bye for now. Be a part of the conversation on Facebook and become a Miracles and Millions manifester at michellehumphrey.com/connect. Let's play together, because living miracle-minded is the gift you give yourself that has a massive impact on others and paves the way to make you millions. Your time is now.